Oh, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Morgan, and I bid you all welcome back to Gothic 2. Now, odds are this episode is going to come out when it is already Christmas in some people's parts of the world. So if that is the case, then I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Hope you are all having a happy, safe, healthy holiday season. Taking care of yourselves and your family and everybody. Yeah. So, last episode, we worked through getting the bandit armor from the... Let me check on something real quick. Sorry about that. Felt like Audacity wasn't recording my microphone properly for some reason, but I don't think that was the case. Anyway, last episode we got the bandit armor from the pirates, which is so, son of a bitch. So integral towards infiltrating their camp. Apologies for the false starts to get us going this morning, this evening, this afternoon. Yeah, so essential to getting into the bandit camp. I have a lot of gripes with this concept, which I will get into more once we actually get in there. But we haven't set foot in the swamp yet in this playthrough, and I gotta say, for a while, this was kind of one of my favorite zones. Might have noticed those two blood flies. They're a bit odd. They're the only blood flies in this game that actually use the idle animation that blood flies have. It's very bizarre, because you never see it anywhere else. I don't think they ever used it in Gothic 1 either. Basically, they actually have a resting position on the ground. And even an animation to return to it, which you just saw there. They had a weird, like, kind of suspicious left-right glance before they laid back down. And those couple blood flies are the only ones that ever use it. Very bizarre. One thing I did want to call out, while I was setting up that gag, I noticed that I think I'd said in the first episode when we got here, the stone sentinel that aggroes when you activate the teleporter stone in the temple near the portal. I had said that it does not, or that it will eventually de-aggro. Turns out that doesn't seem to be the case. It's kind of one of those things where I've had things work in previous... You know, I'm going to go back and buy some more mana potions. This is going to be a problem. I've had things work differently in previous playthroughs of this game that inexplicably have changed. I really can't explain why. Just recently, someone commented on my first video that Zardos, in his game, would go sit in his armchair at night, which gets around my scramble to read the book that he stands at for the early XP bonus. And I can't explain why he had that happen, and I never have. Very bizarre. No big deal.
Hey! Let's
Oh shit, he's only got the super manas. Let's maybe make a detour to the pirates. I don't think Garrett will have anything, but we don't have to go far. And there is somebody... fuck it. It's gonna be a waste of time. There is somebody, outside the bandit camp who does sell a small selection of potions, so... I suppose I could make some, but... kind of want to save. I don't see much value in making the essence potions. But the pure, the elixir of spirits use the same fire roots? Yeah, fire roots as the elixirs of mana. So, using too many fire roots will hinder how many mana boost potions we can get later in the game. No big deal. You don't have to wear the armor of the bandits in most areas of the swamp until you actually get into the camp. And you can see the camp there in the distance. We'll talk about that enemy in a second. You can see the entrance of the camp, the wooden walls in a sort of boardwalk. That's where the camp is, when we actually see a fellow here. This is Lance. This is the poor swine that Satirus and the Water Mage sent into the swamp to do some recon. And, well, they just kind of threw him out to the dogs. Swamp dogs. Anyway, this is a swamp gas drone. This is one of the new enemies created for this expansion. They're a strange one. They have a weird... You might have noticed when he died, he exploded in a big old green cloud. And if you are near them when they die, they actually take away... I think it's actually a percentage of your health. I might be wrong about that, but they do damage that does not seem to acknowledge your defenses in any way. And in fact, it even hits you if you have God mode turned on. So it's very strange how it works. I guess it's the only way they could get it to work. But yeah, they can be a nightmare for melee characters, because if you're anywhere in melee range, they will hit you. Pain in the ass. But luckily, one Ice Lance is enough to do them in. So we got, I already forgot his name. Lance's Signet ring, so let's return that.
I found Lance's body.
May his soul enter the realm of Adonos. Be careful, my son. I do not want to mourn another such loss.
Really? Even as soon as we got here, you seemed like you still wanted to be rid of me.
I have Lance's Aquamarine ring here.
You had better give it to me so it does not fall into the wrong hands.
Worth doing? Because we have no use for that ring otherwise. Again, by the time you even get the wow. Lips don't make words right. By the time you even get your own Aquamarine ring, you don't even need it anymore. The only time you need it is to get a free room from Orlan in his tavern. And I guess get some help from the couple other Ring of Water. Wow. Why is the recording frame rate taking such a nosedive? I apologize if that looks terrible. I'm just seeing that the recording is at like half the frames that I'm actually playing at. Anyway, so the swamp is kind of a surprising place. And actually, I think this is one of the cases where releasing the draw distance, the view distance, is kind of moot. Because there's just such a dense amount of foliage that you can't really see too far anyway, and everything's kind of the same color palette. There are a lot of dangers out there, things that I don't want to walk into straight away. Such as that swamp golem out there. Swamp golems, I think, are a little bit weaker than conventional golems, but they are still a threat. One that I am not eager to deal with right away. So anyway, before we set foot on this boardwalk, make sure you put on the medium bandit's armor. Never get a light bandit's armor, which is interesting. Oh yeah, and there's loads of swamp sharks out here. Swamp sharks, interestingly enough, supposedly never appeared in Vanilla Gothic 2. But I think there's another case where you might notice there are a lot of times where I refer to something that I did in my old live streams, but can't remember what the actual outcome was. I'm pretty sure we proved that swamp sharks did exist in Vanilla Gothic 2, only in a certain swampy area of the Valley of Mines. It was a very small area, so maybe that's why people seem to think that they didn't exist. And they're easy enough to avoid.
Another new boy. Here for the gold too, aren't you?
Gold?
Quit trying to kid me. All the new boys who come here want into the mine. But don't think it's that easy.
How do I get to the camp?
Just follow the boardwalk. But if you want to get into the mine, you'll have to get past Franco. He expects all the new boys to slave away out here for a while first.
Tell me more about the mine.
I'll give you some good advice. If you want to get in there, get in good with Franco. He's the boss out here. He decides who is the next to go in. But he'll only let you in if you don't gold brick out here. So go to him and let him give you a job.
Where do I find this Franco?
He mostly hangs out in the court in front of the camp. Getting good with him or you'll wind up with a crappy job like me.
Do you have to hang around here all the time?
I'm supposed to check out all the new boys to make sure that none of them are spies. But you can forget it. I mean, we're at the end of the world here, in the middle of a swamp. No one can find us. No one will find us. And why should someone go to the trouble of sending us a spy?
Now, this is where I have a lot of gripes with the idea of our infiltration here. And it's just kind of... everything's written around how bad of an idea this is. Which is that apparently... I've already complained at the idea that bandits have a uniform policy or something that they recognize as being, oh, this is a bandit's outfit. You would think a bandit, being a criminal, would just kind of have whatever they're wearing. You know, they wouldn't seek out a certain set of armor to be like, ho ho, I'm a, you know, a mugger, a street thug, I don't know what I'm saying. They wouldn't have an outfit that screams, I'm a bandit. Like, you would just have whatever you could get. But beyond that, the idea that they are, like, checking newcomers for spies, why would they even let newcomers in at this point? And where would they even be coming from? All of the bandits got here by ship from dealing for passage with the pirates, but they're not dealing with the pirates right now, so how could any new bandits be making it here? Like, even if they were ones that they left on the other side of the mountain range, none of them... these guys don't know about the portal yet. They don't know how we got here. The only way they knew to get here was via the ship. And the ship isn't taking them anymore. So if anybody new shows up, they should be rightly suspicious of it. No matter what the hell kind of ratty garb he's wearing. Anyway, this fellow's traipsing around the grass out here is our potion seller that I mentioned earlier.
Hey, you! What are you doing here? Are you looking for something?
Plants. I'm looking for plants. Most of the stuff that grows here can be used for something. Many plants have healing properties, and you can smoke swamp weed reefers. Before my time behind the barrier, I worked as an alchemist.
Why did they put you behind the barrier?
I worked with mind-altering potions. A lot. One evening, my master Ignaz drank my experiment instead of his wine. That rendered him temporarily, unpredictable. And since then, he's been somewhat confused. The mages had me thrown behind the barrier for that. Research into forbidden knowledge, they called it.
What can you tell me about the camp?
Not much. I've never been in there myself. Only Raven's people were there from the beginning. All the others who came later, like me, have to wait until they need new people.
I don't know why I just skipped past that note there, but I guess they decided they wanted to give Ignaz a little backstory and tied him together with a random bandit out here. So, neat little tidbit. I like the rare cases in this game where they decide to kind of, tie up some loose ends from the vanilla game or just add a little backstory to it. Just adds some flavor and color to the world, I guess.
Where did you come from?
Well, the same way as you, I suppose. With the pirates, over the sea. The valley here is completely cut off. There's no connection over land.
Right.
There is a connection through time and space, though.
When do they need new people?
Well, when they're missing some in there. If a digger gets himself eaten by a mine crawler, they let one of us replace him. Sometimes they also kill each other. But they've been better about that lately. Raven has controlled the access to the mine somehow so that not everyone can get in at the same time. But I don't know exactly how that works. I've never been inside.
Can you teach me something?
No time. I am here to get gold, and as long as I can't get into the camp, I make a living by selling my herbs. But if you need a few potions, I still have some.
I mean, you could make a living by charging me for teaching, I guess.
Let's deal.
I guess that little clever tidbit escaped you. Alright, so we get some of that. Also has a couple lockpicks for no good reason. At least we re-upped our potions a bit. So I guess let's not beat around the bush. Let's have a word with this Franco fellow.
Hey, what are you doing here? Do you want to get into the camp?
Is that a question?
Yes, I am...
I don't care who you are. I'm Franco. I'm the leader here. So, if you do a good job out here, I'll take you into the camp. Ramon, the gatekeeper, will tell you if they need new people in the camp. Talk to him.
If you want to be persistent, it will not go well for you. I mean, it might, but we got other means.
Hey, what do you want, huh? I can't imagine you have a permit for the camp.
Franco sent me. He wants to know if anyone is needed in the camp.
Yeah, we need someone. Another one of the guys kicked the bucket yesterday. That idiot tangled with Esteban.
Who is Esteban?
The leader of the lower camp, he decides who gets into the mine. So tell Franco that Torres wants a new man. Got it?
Thoris?
Thoris? The Thoris?
Yes, the Torres. The man who calls for new people. The man who decides if and when a new guy gets out of the swamp and into the camp. You are trying to tell me that you know him from earlier?
Well, yes.
Listen, everyone knows Taurus. Nevertheless, you aren't getting in, and I won't give him a message.
I'm the new man.
Hey, don't try to fool me. It's still Franco who decides which of you gets into the camp.
Franco sent me.
He did not. So beat it! Otherwise, I'll break your bones.
Alright then. So the usual glitchy tricks and exploits apply if you want to get past him, but I've never actually tested to see what happens if you do. If the other bandits even tolerate you in there. No idea. But we'll do things in a normal way.
Hey,
Thoris needs a new man.
good. I'll take care of it.
Wait a minute. What about me?
You haven't done anything yet.
I've done a lot. Only you don't know about it.
Okay, you want a chance. You'll get your chance. Move your butt to Logan. The swamp sharks are breathing down his neck. Help him finish off the beasts, and you're as good as in the camp.
Where do I find Logan?
If you're standing in front of the camp entrance, follow the rock wall to the left. It's a bit farther into the swamp.
So that direction is kind of shit. What he means is if you're facing the camp entrance, you just have to follow this wall here. But honestly, the better path is to just follow the boardwalk, go past Miguel, and go towards the lights in the distance there. Some blood flies over there, probably a few mushrooms and everything might want to pick up later, but we ain't got time for that right now. There's a cave over here with a very interesting fellow inside. We'll make a detour to have a word with him. And chuck on a torch for your viewing convenience.
Why are you sitting around here?
I've got problems. At the moment, it's better for my health if I'm not seen in the camp.
What's wrong?
I had really good relations with some of the pirates, you see. I was always meeting the boys outside their camp and trading. Man, I bought stuff for half the camp. Tom, bring me this. Tom, bring me that. And then that bastard Esteban got in between.
What happened?
Esteban sent Juan, one of his boys. The bastard waylaid us. I was just about to make a deal with the pirates when he came out of the dark and knocked me down with 2 blows. Man, that guy is fast, but not fast enough. I was able to get away from him.
And since the ambush, you've been hiding here.
First, I went back to the camp and let Fisk, Juno, and the others know that they could forget their delivery, and that Esteban was behind it. If Esteban finds out that I told the others that he was responsible, I'm dead. That's why I can't go back to the camp.
What else?
Well, I'll just sit here counting rocks.
Interesting. Sounds like your life is at serious risk right now, but you had no problem telling the first random bandit to come your way exactly what you got involved in. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from going and blabbing to Esteban, other than the fact that I can't go to see him. Well, that's a temporary issue. So there's nothing else really to do with this guy until much later. You can't rat him out to Esteban or anything when we go finally meet him. But what's curious about this guy is that he's the first person we've encountered using that sitting animation. The cross-legged sitting animation, I don't think was even a thing in the vanilla game, or in Gothic 1 as far as I can remember. So, for some reason, in Neither Raven, they decided to add a whole new sitting position. For reasons that only Piranhabytes can possibly comprehend.
Look, a new face. Are you just gonna stand around here, or have you come to help me?
Franco sent me. He says you could use some help. So, what's up?
The swamp sharks are coming a little too close for me. High time to finish off a few of them.
What do I get for my help?
Franco will let you rot here if you do nothing. If you want to get into the camp, you'll have to lend a hand. You won't get any further here with just words. Besides, I can show you how to gut the beasts. But don't think Franco will send you straight into the camp just because we've had a little fun with the swamp sharks here. There are people out here who have been waiting a long time to get in. And the next one who gets in is me. It had better be me.
What's in the camp then?
The question is what isn't in the camp. There are no swamp sharks, no swamp holes, no swamp at all. Instead, they have booze and gold. As far as I know, they even have a woman. Got it?
A singular woman? Wow. She must be very popular. So he can teach you...
Show me how to gut animals.
If you want to learn something about blood flies, go to Edgar. He knows all about them. And if you want to gut swamp sharks or lizards, you have to know how to remove skins and teeth. I can show you that.
He says that. But he actually can't teach you how to remove skins, unless it's another case of these subtitles being incorrect. Which is a distinct possibility.
I'll come back later.
Yeah, you just run away. I'll stay here and stop everything that gets too close.
I forgot about that. But yeah, he gets a little pissy if you walk away before dealing with the swamp sharks with him. Wow, this saving bar is kind of a lot slower. So out of curiosity... Well, that didn't tell me anything. I don't know if we actually learned claws.
I'll come.
Yeah.
Or if that was something else. But either way, I don't really care. It's just weird that he says he can teach you how to remove reptile skins, but then seems to only be able to teach you how to remove general animal claws. There's one swamp shark in the distance there, but that's not actually the ones that are associated with this mission. You might see those pop in just a second.
Let's attack the swamp sharks.
You figured out how to get ahead here. I'm pleased. Psst. Hey, you hear that? Oh yeah, I hear them.
I see. And what do we do now?
They're coming. They've got an appetite for a bite of human flesh. Well, we'll see who gets eaten here. Let's go.
I don't know, I'm sure not gonna eat them. So these swamp sharks actually just pop in, pretty much. Right as soon as you hit that dialogue entry. Luckily, 2 ice lances puts them down real easy.
The only good swamp shark is a dead swamp shark. That'll be a warning to their brothers.
All right. Is there anything else to do? Otherwise, I'll take off.
Do that. If you want to learn anything else, you know where to find me.
Well, that was easy. Let's take a quick nap, but I'm going to keep heading in that direction, because there's some things I want to see. So swamp sharks are a bit of an annoying enemy in this game. They have a really weird sort of hitbox. You can hit them when they're way further away than you think they should be, but the same thing goes for them. We'll see that in just a second. Swamp sharks are probably one of the most annoying enemies in the first game. They're not nearly as bad now. Like, watch how far away you can get and still hit you. They also, I'm not really sure what's up with this one. He seems to take an extra hit from the ice lance, even though the first one takes him down to 50% health. The next one only seems to do half that much. But this is a unique swamp shark, even though it doesn't show in any way. He actually has a key on him. A Lou's key, fits the tavern in the bandit camp. So that, you're gonna want to make sure you pick that up. That's part of a little quest later. But it's easy to miss if you don't know this guy has it. Since he's not distinguished in any... Can you take the spell out, please? So, you might recall in the last episode when we were in the canyon, I mentioned a cave with a sort of an archway to lead over to it. And how it, once you go through it, it spits you out on the far side of the island. We're actually on the other side of it right now, so I figure now that we've made it here, it'd be a good time to go back through it and show you what's inside. We have a lot of gold. There's also some good shit to see here. And mantis. So, down the way here, along this wall... Goodness. There is another treasure site, if you're looking for those. Again, we'll dig those up all in one go, so we can have all the loot kind of cataloged. Right, left, right. And some random crap in there. Now in here, something that may take you by surprise, so be ready. What we have is a unique creature, a fire devil, which is kind of like a ghostly reskin of a shadow beast. So, same techniques for fighting a shadow beast apply here, but given that this is a fire-based enemy, it actually, I think, has a unique, well, not unique, but a particular weakness to ice attacks. 3 ice lances. Makes mincemeat of them. The unfortunate thing is that these have no unique loot of any kind. But they used the, I think, undead Shadow Beast as a base model with a transparent layer and this flame effect over them. And anybody wondering why I stopped using the DirectX 11 renderer, one of the reasons is that the transparency effect on a lot of these ghostly enemies doesn't work in the DirectX 11 renderer. So all these things show up as a much more corporeal, physical-looking enemy. And more than anything, it makes one of the... it makes the final boss, which I won't reveal, but it makes that enemy look absolutely ridiculous. So, kind of spoils the epic final showdown when that thing looks very silly. But anyway, we proceed up the hill here. And these saving screens were not taking this long before. There are mantises out here, but inside are a much more familiar insectoid enemy. I guess while we're here, these are a good enemy to show off something I think I had mentioned before, but it's a technique I always forget when we run into the issue of enemies who get in melee range and spells having a much harder time hitting them. Basically, one of the weird things is that there's kind of like a dead zone in front of you where spells don't seem to connect, but there's a weird overlap from behind. So we'll demonstrate on this mine crawler. When he gets behind me, I can hit him basically on the backswing. So this spell seems to start from behind you and doesn't actually hit anything on top of you or directly in front of you until a certain distance away. So it's like it starts from behind, goes insubstantial for a split second, and then is back to able to hit things. Left, right, right, left, right. So it's very bizarre, but at least that's a trick to deal with enemies in melee range, making them a little less annoying. Obviously, if you're dealing with enemies who hit really hard, you like to avoid that. But as long as you can outdamage them, basically a way to trade hits as a mage. We don't need to be wearing the bandit armor here. So it's one of the annoying things about having to switch armor. This armor is pretty shit. So we have to make sure that we're always switching them appropriately. Minecrawler movement behaviors are always really weird to me. Oh boy. So yeah, that's a trick. I mean, somebody told me about it a long time ago. It's just one of those things where I am just dumb and forget about it, and so never end up using it. It's kind of like my trick for, at least with one-handed weapons, for getting behind NPCs and doing the 1-2, sidestep 1-2, basically get them stun locked. Like, I had come up with that in the live streams, but by the time I got around to the videos, I had completely, like, forgotten about it for a few episodes. Because my brain don't do the smart. Oh, and one of the reasons why I like to keep notes on the side is commenter named Ludovox told me about some spells that I think, again, this might be something that somebody else has told me in the past and just escaped my memory, but certain spells have a non-lethal kind of damage type where they essentially are the same as melee attacks against enemies that aren't flagged as, you know, shoot to kill or whatever you want to call it. Obviously some NPCs are just straight up hostile and they're trying to kill you, and unlike Gothic 1, the hit that takes you to 0 hit points becomes lethal. So they don't have to stab you while you're on the ground, and vice versa. You can just kill them just by getting their health down. But non-hostile enemies that you're just like brawling with, you just knock down via melee attacks. Left, 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 right, right, right. Left, left, right, 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 left. But there are actually some spells that operate that same way. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right. I don't think I wrote... No, I didn't write down what those spells were. I think it's a small lightning, ball lightning, geyser, and water fist. I think were the 4 spells that have that property. And there's nothing in-game that tells you that, so it's very bizarre, and nobody would know about it unless they accidentally did it. Maybe you're trying to kill somebody and were surprised and see that the spells just knocked them down. There's no real reason why those spells are a knockdown, not an instant kill. I have no idea why they decided to do it that way, and you'll notice that no mage NPC uses those spells to knock you down. they actually have a unique spell called, I think, the Concussion Bolt, that they use basically in place of melee attacks. Whereas Zardos, if we piss him off, just puts us to sleep. But anyway, I've never tested it since I didn't really remember it or know about it. I never tested to see how you might be able to use them in duels or brawls like with the mercenaries. Because they always say, don't use magic, it's against the rules. But I'm wondering if that matters. If the magic doesn't actually kill anybody. It is possible that instead the flag is, like, they only say that rule just because it'll kill the enemy, it'll kill the NPC if you were to use magic or bows. But given that those spells don't deal lethal damage necessarily, you might be able to get away with it. Because the guy won't die, so they won't have any reason to call you out for using lethal techniques. Left, right, left, right. I don't know. That's something I really gotta test. Maybe I could have before I did this episode, but I did not. Last 2 mine crawlers here. So there's some reasonably valuable loot in here, but nothing terribly exciting. Oh, we got one more. Ah, you dork. Most important thing, as usual, are mushrooms. I know I haven't been grabbing them all on screen, but I think I'll do kind of like a comb of the map once we're pretty much wrapped up with it. Try and get as many mushrooms as possible. Again, no guarantee that I'll get them all. In fact, I can pretty much guarantee I won't. But get as many as you can. There's a total of about 550 in the game, which equates to, what is it? 55 times 5? No. What am I talking about? 550 divided by 5 is... I'm not doing math right now. 550 divided by 5 is 11. 5 mana apiece. So, yeah, that's 55 mana. 55 mana at stake. Be careful. I don't usually come into this from this direction. There's a couple bloodhounds right outside the way there. And X what marks the spot here. Again, we'll get to that in its due course. And I do apologize for anyone who finds it weird that I'm deliberately avoiding things. This is not an organic way to play the game, but it's for the sake of the walkthrough that I'm doing things differently. Some people might question why a walkthrough would be skipping things, but it's mostly just because I know a lot of people end up clicking on these videos and being like, hey, where's the episode where you do this, or take care of this? Older walkthroughs I did were kind of all over the place. I would do things as I reached them. But that's not really a conducive way to do this, because if I describe in the title or in the description what I get done in an episode, people know this is the one I need to click on to find what I need. Anyway, so we're out in the canyon now. And now we go back. Alright, so I'd say when you reach this little bit of water here, it's time to put the bandit garb back on. Interesting thing is, enemies actually NPCs call you out. If they attack you while you're wearing the pirate armor, they will call you out. And I thought that was unique to the bandits. But my friend Val actually clarified that any NPC who attacks you while you're wearing the pirate armor will say that. So there is kind of a hidden flag on the pirate armor as well as the bandit armor. Although the bandit kind of calls that out in the description, the pirate armor does not, because it normally doesn't affect anything. Just seems like that flag is there. Maybe they had other intentions with it, where the general NPCs would be hostile towards the pirate armor as well, but decided to back off on that idea. The pirate armor you can wear anywhere in public. It's no big deal.
Nothing's ever gonna change.
You don't have to tell me that.
I helped Logan.
No, that isn't true.
Okay, so you fought the swamp sharks. You're useful. At least more so than most of the guys here.
Nobody wants to know.
You already know what I think.
So can I go to the camp now?
Listen,
You really think?
there's another thing I need you for. A few days ago,
Can't rely
I
on
sent
that.
Edgar into the swamp. He was supposed to get me an old stone tablet, but he hasn't been seen since. See what he's doing, and bring me that damn stone tablet.
You don't have to ask me that.
He simply needs to practice.
So, where do I find this Edgar?
Do you want the easy way or the fast way?
Those are all just rumors.
Had to happen sooner or later.
Tell me the easy way.
Follow the path to the front gate. Sancho should be standing there. Go left from there and follow the boardwalk. There are ruins everywhere. He's sitting around somewhere there. I assume he was smart enough to build himself a fire. You should be able to find that.
Things like that.
So if you know where he is and he hasn't gotten far, why the hell did you have to send me?
What about gold?
What?
Do I get anything for my work here in the swamp?
Nothing's ever
You
gonna
want
change.
gold?
That isn't true.
Sure. How much do you want?
Never change.
50 gold nuggets. 100.
Why have I
I'll
heard
give you
nothing?
as much gold as you can carry. Who do you think you are? Are you trying to make a fool out of me? Now push off and do something. Otherwise, you won't get so much as one crumb of gold.
Something tells me this guy's not going to be diplomatic or grateful for all the hard work we're doing.
Nobody ever asks me.
Might need to find another means of getting inside.
It's no big deal.
So an important hint on this wall.
He was falling down drunk.
Hanging on a hut in the swamp. Hey people, the stuff in the chest is for emergencies and it's for everyone, so only take something if you need it, and only take as much as you need. If everyone sticks to this, it will work. Fletcher. Fletcher? We know that name. Fletcher was the, not Shadow, the guard, who, well, if he's not around, his rules don't apply. He was the guard who was running the arena district in the old camp. So, Franco's directions, whether you ask for the easy way or the fast way, are both pretty stupid. It basically says follow the boardwalk out there, and then follow it back over here.
Been there, done that.
Well, these are the ruins you're looking for right here. They're just a hop, skip, jumping away. Be careful you don't go too far that way, because there are swamp golems out there. And the man we need is right here, and he's got a buddy with him.
How's it going?
You want to know how it's going? I'll tell you how it's going. First, some pirates brought me here on a stormy night. Man, I barfed all over that nutshell. Then Raven locked up the mine because some idiots are too greedy for gold. And then Franco became the leader of the hunters, killing anybody who's against him. I'd say it's going pretty badly.
How did Franco get to be the leader?
Quite simply, he killed Fletcher. He was the leader of the hunters before. Fletcher was okay. Franco's just jerking us all around.
Franco sent me here about that stone tablet. Have you found it?
Man, I haven't even looked for it. All I know is it's supposed to be in this old building deep in the swamp. And my inner voice tells me, Edgar, stay far away from old buildings deep in the swamp. I certainly won't risk my ass for that bum Franco.
Seems like solid advice that we will ignore.
Where exactly is this old building?
Just go left past the big rock here. After a while, you'll come to another big rock. You have to go left or right past that one. I don't know anymore. It was too long ago. But the ruins are supposed to be on some sort of rise, all but hidden among plants. Maybe you'll get lucky and you won't find it.
Well, if I knew where the hell it was, why was it such an emergency to go send someone to find it?
Can you teach me something?
I know a lot about blood flies. I hate those miserable beasts. Even more than I hate Franco. But I know how to tear the stingers and wings from their dead bodies. Yeah, tear them out! Besides that, I know how to remove the secretion from the stinger. If you want, I can teach you all that junk. Of course, nothing is free out here.
It's a little disturbing the way you said that, and it's just dawning on me now that you have Mud's voice. And a very different intention for the animals you find.
About the blood flies?
What do you want to know?
So, interesting, the secretion costs 1 LP, but we actually have the document that tells us how to do that. So we don't really care. This is the big rock he's talking about. I guess it is the closest big rock, so... almost mountainous, the size of this rock, but yeah, that's the one he's referring to. So we'll bang a left around there, but I have heard some things in the distance here. Ooh, potion. So let's take out the trash first. Goblins. Oh, look at you. Smack. So this will probably be a bit longer than my usual episodes, but I figure it's a nice Christmas treat. And it'll end in a convenient location, a convenient point in the plot here to pick up next time. Left, 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 right, right. Nothing in here, strangely. Why would they be keeping crates and barrels and stuff out here? Very far away from where they'd be useful. So if we stick to the side of this big wall here, there's some blood flies abound. I guess these ones are lying down too. Dope. There's a strange rock formation here. And look at that, we got a teleporter stone. What the hell? How many are you oh goodness. Of you are there? Boy, I have trouble with sentences today. Anyway, let's get this taken care of. Hop on through. Get paid.
I've activated another one of the teleporter stones. Give me the next focus.
Of course. Here it is. Here are a few gold coins.
Thanks. Could do with some more mana, I suppose. Make sure we aren't about to hit the break point. Well, we're only at 90 mana right now. Is that right? Yeah, it is. I think I screwed up the exploit.
I want to...
Maybe not. No, I guess that's right. Is it? No. It turns to 15 starting at 60, doesn't it? I think that's all we can spare. Yep. Oh well. Might have been wise to save some of those. We actually need to learn a different skill later. But for now, we'll be fine. If you want to dodge most of the enemies, which I will for now, just kind kind of save time. We'll hit them all on the way back. But if you just keep to the right around these ruins, head in the direction of this swamp-ass drone. Whatever else is over here. Oh, speaking of those things, there's a unique sort of Easter egg on the swamp gas drones, which you never get to see in normal gameplay. I only found out in a sort of comedic live stream I did once where I was just kind of testing Marvin mode commands and all that kind of stuff. And somebody said, hey, you know what'd be funny? Possess one of the swamp gas drones. I was like, okay. So I did it. They were like, okay, now hold shift. And, you get back here. Oh, God! Brilliant. Alright. So they are just... Oh my God. Well, that was quite something to behold. Alright, we got double lizard action here. Aha! Oh, I'm still wearing the bandit armor. Take my advice. Do as I say, not as you see me do. My goodness. I gotta say, the, like, autofocus on spells did not need to exist. Like the auto-facing. It does that. Really annoying. Sometimes I'm just trying to walk around. Some might consider it an exploit to use this as a means of keeping an eye on all the enemies, but I mean, it's... come on. It's not like they didn't know about it. Oh boy. Croaky, croaky, croaky. Now, over here, a couple more lizards, I think. Maybe just the one. Well, that was nice. Over here is another dig site. So, I'll point those out as we pass them. But again, I shall dedicate a short video specifically to finding them all. So I never really keep track of, like, the loot you find in these kind of things. So I figure it would be helpful for people, especially if one of them does happen to contain a specific item you want. It'd be nice to know exactly where it is. You can make that a priority target. Anyway, so what we have up here, quite a dangerous encounter. We don't have a good spell to deal with stone sentinels. They're very resilient to the ice lance. They actually can be dealt with 2 hits from the storm spell that we learned how to make. And this is really the main reason why I got that spell, because its usefulness does not last very long. The biggest problem with it is it's essentially the same area of effect as the fire rain spell, but it takes a lot longer to cast and it does half as much damage. Now, we want to be stingy with these things. They are very precious, but this, to me, is a good occasion to use it. But we just want to use the one. Why do I even have that on? We just want to use one, not 2 of them. As long as you don't get too close to them, they won't do anything, but I say start from the doorway. You'll get the ones behind you, and then do a run forward. And you'll get all the ones in the back. That's the easiest way to make sure that you smoke them all. None of them drop anything, unfortunately. And now, I'll pop a light spell. Now we help ourselves to what is around here. Interestingly, these temples here, which are actually, this is one of the mansions that Cedrus told us to look out for. But they have their own soundtrack. The very out-of-breath person in the background. The stone sentinel in the middle here has a key. It's a strange chest in a strange old building in the swamp. Let's open this chest. And we have 2 green stone tablets inside.
I can't read that.
F. Wedby as the Fujby Fewij Quarhodron Ego Shli as need. Sure, buddy. Whatever you say. Anyway. So, curious thing is that well, there are 2 of them in that chest. And there's actually a good reason for that. It's because there are 2 people you can give them to. One of them will never give it back. So, I suspect in testing this game, they realized that you could pretty much soft lock yourself by giving it to the wrong person right away. That one's not dead. What? Why didn't these die? Wait. Those ones died? Why didn't used ones die? Whatever. We'll leave that be. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I think that'll do it for today. So, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very kindly for watching. Once again, this should be out just before Christmas in most of the world, but either way, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Make sure you all stay safe and healthy this holiday season. Take care of yourselves, take care of your family, and maybe we'll have one more episode before New Year's. No promises on that. But until next time, have yourselves a wonderful night, happy holidays, and see you next time.